Two people standing on the same street corner can disagree about what is happening right now on the other side of the universe. Not happened, not will happen, right now. And the strange part, the part that ought to keep you awake at night, is that physics says they are both correct. That is not a riddle. It is not a trick of language. It is the conclusion of the most carefully tested theory we have about space and time. And once you really let it sink in, something unsettling happens. The story you have been telling yourself about tomorrow, that it does not exist yet, that it is waiting somewhere out ahead of you, blank, open, unwritten, that story begins to crack. Not gently, but in a way that makes you question what now even means. So let us do something unusual. Let us become detectives, not of crime, but of time itself. Let us treat reality like a crime scene where every assumption must be questioned, every clue followed carefully, even if it leads somewhere uncomfortable. We gather clues. We follow them where they lead. And I warn you, where they lead is not intuitive. It is not comfortable. It is strange in a way that no everyday experience prepares you for. Clue 1 begins with Isaac Newton. For about 2 centuries after Newton, everyone who seriously studied physics believed something simple and clean. Time is a river, a universal river. It flows the same everywhere in the universe, regardless of motion, gravity, or observer. Newton himself described time as absolute, flowing equably without regard to anything external. That idea became the foundation of classical physics, and it feels right, doesn't it? It matches your intuition perfectly. You imagine the world unfolding like a film, one frame after another, one shared now, stretching across the entire universe like a cosmic snapshot. When you say, right now, you believe your present moment is shared with everyone else, your family, your friends, even distant galaxies in some synchronized cosmic clock. For 200 years, experiments never challenged this idea. Everything fit. The planets moved predictably. The equations worked. The river of time seemed real. But then, quietly, something broke. Clue 2 arrives in the 1880s. Two scientists, Michelson and Morley, tried to measure Earth's motion through something called the luminiferous ether, a substance they believed filled space and carried light waves. If the ether existed, Earth should be moving through it like a boat through water. But when they measured it, they got nothing. No drift, no wind, no motion detected at all. This was impossible according to classical physics. Earth was moving, fast, around the sun, through the galaxy. Yet the experiment said otherwise. Scientists scrambled to fix the contradiction. Maybe the ether moved with Earth. Maybe instruments were distorted. Maybe space itself was hiding motion, but none of it worked cleanly. The theory was breaking. Then came a young patent clerk in Switzerland, Albert Einstein. Clue 3. Einstein asked a question that changed everything. What if the speed of light is always the same for everyone? No matter how fast they are moving? It sounds simple, almost innocent, but this single idea destroys the foundation of absolute time. Because if light is always constant, then time cannot be absolute. Time must adjust, space must adjust, reality must bend. Clue 4 helps us see why. Imagine a long loaf of bread moving on a conveyor belt. At both ends of the loaf, a light flashes. One observer standing outside sees both flashes happen at the same time, simultaneous. But another observer, moving with the loaf, sees something different. One flash happens before the other, same events, same universe, different realities of timing. Both observers are correct. There is no universal authority that decides who is right. This is called the relativity of simultaneity, and it destroys the idea of a shared now. Clue 5 takes this even further. Space and time are not separate things. They are woven together into something called spacetime. Picture the universe not as a flowing river, but as a loaf of bread, complete, whole, already fully formed. Every event, past, present, future, is inside this loaf, not unfolding, not appearing, just existing. You and I are not living through time. We are slicing through space-time. Each slice is what we call now. But here is the shocking part. Everyone slices differently. If you move relative to me, your slice of now tilts compared to mine. That means your present moment is not the same as mine. Clue 6 makes this even more disturbing. This idea is known as the block universe. In the block universe, time does not flow. Nothing happens in a universal sense. Instead, everything simply exists, like pages in a complete book. The beginning of the universe, your birth, this exact moment, and the far future are all equally real. You are not moving through time. You are located inside it. Even Einstein himself leaned toward this idea. He once wrote that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubborn illusion. But what does that really mean? It means the feeling that time flows is not necessarily a feature of the universe. It might be a feature of your mind. Clue 7 shows the resistance to this idea. Not all physicists agree with the block universe. Some argue that there must be a real present moment. Others say time emerges from deeper physics we do not yet understand. Relativity allows the block interpretation, but it does not force it. It leaves philosophical space open, but the simplicity of the block universe is hard to ignore. It requires no extra assumptions. No hidden now, no universal clock, just space-time and observers moving through it. Clue 8 takes us into deeper mystery. If the universe is a block, then why do we experience time as flowing? Why does now feel special? Why does consciousness feel like it is moving forward? Physics does not currently have a complete answer. Some scientists suggest it is memory. We remember the past but not the future. So we feel a direction. Others suggest entropy, the fact that disorder increases over time, creates the illusion of flow. But none of these explanations fully capture the raw feeling of now. Something is still missing. Clue 9 brings consequences. If the block universe is correct, then your future decisions already exist somewhere in space-time. But this does not mean you are controlled like a puppet. It means your choices are part of the structure itself. You do not observe your life from outside it. You are inside it, living it from within. From the outside perspective of space-time, your entire life is a complete path. From the inside perspective, it feels like movement. Both are true, depending on viewpoint. Clue 10 is where physics meets uncertainty, because quantum mechanics complicates everything. At small scales, reality does not behave deterministically. Outcomes appear probabilistic. Events are not fixed until measured, or so some interpretations say. If that is true, then the block universe may not be perfectly fixed after all. It may contain branching possibilities, or multiple timelines, or something even stranger. Meanwhile, relativity still insists that space-time is complete and consistent. The two greatest theories in physics do not fully agree on what time is, and that is where we are stuck. So what do we actually know? We know that our intuition about a universal present is not supported by physics. We know that simultaneity is relative. We know that space-time behaves like a four-dimensional structure where different observers slice reality differently. But we do not know whether time flows in any objective sense. We do not know why. Consciousness experiences now the way it does. We do not know whether the future is fixed or unfolding. And perhaps most importantly, we do not know what time truly is at the deepest level. So, when you hear the claim that the future already exists, understand what it really means. It is not a slogan. It is not a belief system. It is one serious interpretation of our best-tested physical theories. a possibility supported by mathematics, but still open to interpretation. And so we return to the image of the loaf, a complete structure of space-time, every moment embedded inside it, your life stretching through it like a thread, and you, right now, are not outside it looking in. You're inside it, slicing through it, moment by moment, calling each slice now. The question is not whether the loaf exists. The question is how you choose to experience your path through it. Because whatever time really is, river, block, illusion, or something we have not yet discovered, you are still here, still thinking, still choosing, still asking the question. And that, perhaps, is the most real thing we can say about time.